You awaken in a rowboat, in the middle of the ocean. Your food supply is low. Your drinking water is low. If you could wait till night, if you could see the stars, maybe you could navigate towards land. But something else comes in the night too, that may be more dangerous than even the sea itself. Hi, and welcome to 1,000,000 Slimy Things, an interactive wreckage by Cochran. We've already done one story of Charms, and that was Sundown. Really awesome. If you haven't watched it, it's a great story. Honestly, super good. Or just play it yourself. Honestly, check the links for that. But for real, I'm pretty excited for another story. So let's check this out. 1,000,000 Slimy Things. Oh, that's creepy as fuck. oh, that was creepy. Oh, I like that. That's a good start. Alone, alone, all alone. Alone on a wide, wide sea. And never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. The many men so beautiful, and they all did. No, I'm sorry. And they all dead did lie. And 1,000,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. The rhyme of the ancient mariner. Is that really in? Don't do it again! Oh my goodness. No, stop! Stop! Ah! Ah! Turn that down a little bit more. Want a little bit of background, but not too much. There we go. I'm going to just turn that down for me as well. Great. You awaken in a rowboat, in the middle of the ocean. Ocean to the left, to the right, before you and behind you. Ocean to every horizon. Your food supply is low. Your drinking water is low. You are alone. It's morning now. You woke with the sun. That will allow you to tell north from south. But that's not helpful if you don't know where the sea you are. If you can wait till night, if you see the stars, maybe you can navigate towards land. It's a long shot, you know. But it's your only chance. I agree. Ooh. Morning, day one. Ooh, this is interesting. A little bit like a day survival kind of thing. That's fun. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. The sun is to your right, slowly climbing. What are you to do? Check my supplies. We have 1 ration and 2 water. Okay, cool. Check your well-being. Hunger, manageable. Thirst, trivial. Energy, decent. Okay, so at the moment, we don't really need anything. I think we row. Just immediately start making progress. Let me just shift myself over a little bit there. Sorry, that's a little tighter. In which direction will you row? Ooh, I didn't. I was hoping he would have already had an idea. Well, we don't know where we are in the ocean. We really don't know anything. I'm guessing maybe there's like a shipwreck or something? I don't know. I don't know what's put us in this situation. I gotta think about land. We're in the ocean. Well, land could be anywhere. It depends where you are, right? Like, if we're proper deep ocean, fuck knows. Fuck knows. Usually, there's like a saying. I'm trying to see if I can remember what it is about. I feel like towards the sun is... Will that be... If it's risen, it'll be from the east. So it'll be east, north, west, or south. So east, west... Oh, wait. Let's say what kind of... If it's morning, see, it's definitely in the east. Okay. East, sun to my left would be south, north. Okay. Maybe north. I think sun to my right, because east. Yeah, so north. We're gonna go north. The sun is to your right, slowly climbing. You never considered yourself the fastest at rowing, but you think you've managed something like a respectable 25 clicks. That feels good. I think maybe, probably. Afternoon, day 1. Day after day after day after day. The sun is to your left, sinking down to the west. What are you to do? Still got all the stuff. It's act. What does that mean? What will you do, fish? Ah! That's a good idea. Fish! Sit with your line cast for hours, and you're just about to give up when a tug on the line and reel it in. You crank the handle rapidly, turning the spool and winding in the line. You face some weak resistance, but eventually you manage to reel it in. What comes out of the water is unlike any fish you've ever seen. It looks less like an animal and more like a tumor. All awkward bulges and pulsing, translucent flesh. Okay. It has no head, tail, fins, or legs. It's just a pink, fleshy mass. It turns slowly, suspended in the air by your hook. You wonder if it's alive. Then it opens a mouth you couldn't make out before, and in a frightfully human voice, it screams! You throw it back to the water as quickly as you can. Okay. For a moment, you think you see something moving under the water, but it turns out just to be a reflection. The sun is to your left, low on the horizon. What am I doing? I'm guessing these haven't really changed. So we could fish again. I say we just row. We'll carry on with the sun to my... Well, gotta remember the sun is now setting, which is in the west. So, if we want to keep going north, sun to our left. Moment you think you see something... Okay, you row for hours. By the end, you think you managed about 25 clicks. Okay, so we've gone 50 clicks north. Night falls and the stars reveal themselves to you. You search the sky for familiar constellations. Ha! Aquarius, Cetus, Pisces, Hydrus. I'm going to say Aquarius because I am an Aquarius. You heard that in ancient Egypt, they knew the Nile was about to flood when Aquarius appeared. They believed it was an overflowing jar that would literally pour its excess water into the river. Only by the time the idea made it to the Greeks was a person attached to the cup. Now it helps you orient yourself in the sky. Ah. Cool. Cetus is called a whale, even though the original Cetus was a much cooler sea monster from Greek mythology, which Perseus killed to get with Andromeda. That's pretty cool. Most of the drawings of it don't look like a whale at all. It's all seal flippers and pig's heads. Ooh, that's creepy. To you, it's the center of the sea in the sky, a reference point for everything else up there. Ah, the center of the sea in the sky. Interesting. Pisces. Stories you've heard it goes that Aphrodite and Eros, fleeing from some monster, were rescued by two fish and rowed their backs to safety. They then rewarded the fish by immortalizing them in the stars. Oh, that's nice. And you're glad they did, because now it allows you to orient yourself a little better in space. Hydrus. Doesn't have a myth to go along with it, because it was made up by some Dutch guy in the 1500s. I love it. It's named after a literal water snake, too, not some beast of legend. Boring. Still, it's good to have. It's higher in the sky than you've ever seen it before, which gives you a lot of information. That will put you in the southern sea near the Arctic Circle. You think you have a good idea of where to go now. Ooh, the southern sea near the Arctic Circle. We're very south. Hello, little captain. This is a voice from somewhere. Sorry, I forgot I got the autoframe camera on. Look to the sky. Stars are as they were. You hear a deep rumbling chuckle. Look to the sea. Look down to the dark water, and at first you can see nothing. Oh, snap. And then an eye opens below your boat. The pupil larger than your body, attached to no organism. Oh, ugh. Having no eyelid of skin you can see, but opening nonetheless. Do you know what I am? The voice asks. You are the sea. An astute guess, little captain. The voice, the eye, sounds impressed. I wonder how your impression will change in the coming days. Tell me, little captain. It continues. What are you doing so far from land, all alone? I don't remember. The eye blinks slowly, languidly, like a cat. I have seen much, little captain. It says, you can obfuscate if you so choose, but know that my tenacity will outlast yours. You're not sure what to say in response to that. After a moment, it asks you, what is that you are wearing on your head? Headphones. Sorry. Check my head. My hat! Ooh. It's a peaked cap, with a white crown and midnight blue visor. The front of the peak is embroidered with an insignia depicting an anchor. You had, at one point, removed the wire frame from the crown to give it a more crusher cap look, but now the fabric has grown so saturated with salt that it's stiff and peaked once more. A captain without a crew. The voice may be I muses. It's not much of a captain, no. You say nothing. But that's of little import, is it? It continues. You have a plan. I'm using the stars to navigate. How resourceful, it says. The eye shifts its focus to look up and past you. Ah, the stars, it murmurs. Those of you who choose to navigate this empty expanse have used them for millennia as waypoints, beacons guiding you back to stable Earth. It pauses, and you wait for its next words with bated breath. Sorry to pause, but I love the effect going on with like the text when he speaks. It's such a nice little touch, you know what I mean? It's just good. These stories just get me, man. They immerse you a little more. It's awesome. You build images out of them, and then stories out of the images, and create a vast, unchanging tapestry, predictable and reliable. The stars are your keepers, your waypoints, and your saviors. The stories are your communities, your camaraderie, your culture. The constellations are your map, and they are you, all to rescue you and provide security against the vast, unpredictable sea. But you all forgot one thing. The sky, too, is a sea, little captain. The above and the below are one and the same, equally dangerous and equally treacherous. Stars die, winking out in an instant to be swallowed by darkness. Those sailors who fail to tread lightly, too, may find themselves swallowed by the dark. But row away, little captain. Perhaps you will be saved. It always is others who fall victim to terrible accidents and die at sea. It never is you, is it? For now, though, little captain, it is time that you rest. There is much for you to do tomorrow and much for you to consider. Sleep sweetly, and perhaps you will live to see the light once more. Ooh, my goodness. With that, the eye closes, and you quickly fall into a deep and dreamless sleep. Yeah, I'd have no dreams too at this point. My God. Morning, day 2. Sky is cloudless and vast. The sun is to your right, slowly climbing. What are you to do? Check my supplies. 1 serving of rations, 2 of water. My well-being. Famished, parched, fatigue. Act. Or wait. How do I treat myself with these things? Famished, I'm parched, and I'm fatigued. This isn't good, man. This isn't good. I can fish. I can wait. If I choose to wait, I wonder if he, like, takes care of himself, maybe. Well, if we're in the Southern Sea, the Arctic Circle, I sadly don't know my maps very well. I mean, Southern Sea makes it sound like you would know where it is. I mean, the Arctic Circle, I know, unless that's the one in, like, the north, because I know Antarctica's in the south, right? That's, like, the southern hemisphere, like, proper at the bottom of the Earth. Is the Arctic Circle the other end? Shit. Does that mean we're in the north? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I don't want to cheat. I'm not going to pull up a map and figure this stuff out, okay? If I fail, I fail. That's the part of the fun. What am I to do? I'm going to say wait for now. See if he, like, takes care of himself. Yes, cool. Okay, we can. That's good to know. So, famished, parched, fatigued. So we need to kind of sort all this stuff out. I'd say let's wait, drink water, sip from your water, hoping to make the quenched feeling last as long as possible. Water stretches onto each horizon. Sun is to your left, sinking down. Fantastic. He's quenched. Hunger. Can we do a little bit of fishing? Nothing bites. Damn it! Can we fish again? Reel it in. I tug on the line. You crank the handle rapidly, turning the spool and winding in the line. You face some weak resistance, but your gnawing hunger allows you to reel it in. The end of the line doesn't burst from the surface, but rather lifts, still weighed down by the thing attached. The attached thing is not a fish, certainly, and not quite an eel. A worm, perhaps? It is long and thin, its body dull gray and slimy and pulsating as it hangs from your hook. A straight line down into the water. Oh, H knows now, sorry. Can't bring yourself to actually draw it into the boat. It has no eyes, you realize. You wouldn't be able to tell head for ass if one of them wasn't clamped onto your hook. Unbidden, you think of an Ouroboros unwound, head abandoning tail for greener pastures. Ooh, interesting. As you stare, stupefied, the grotesque thing simply slips off of your hook and vanishes back into the sea. Damn it! No! I mean, we have a ration, but it's not going to be enough, is it? You wait. The stars do not appear. You search the sky frantically. Darker than you've ever seen. The sky is a vast, empty expanse, perfectly smooth and uniformly dark. You feel as if you could fall upward, tumble into it, and keep plummeting forever, screaming and writhing and cold. It is as if you were an insect, and it is a bowl someone has overturned to keep you trapped while they retrieve the swatter. Only the moon scars its eerie perfection. It cowers near the horizon, a sickly yellow blemish almost too bright to look at. Without the moon, the sky would be indistinguishable from the sea. You are floating in a void. Oh no! Oh no, Mr. C. How goes the rowing, little captain? Am I anywhere close? Maybe he knows. You are thousands of kilometers away from any landmass. It says casually, disinterestedly. A silence. Have you figured out what I am? It asks. You're the devil. You must think me very powerful indeed, little captain. It sounds amused. But no, I'm something much worse. What? Oh, another longer silence. You stare up at the starless sky. Tell me, little captain. It says eventually. Does your little boat have a name? Yes. Oh, good. It says, boats ought to have names. Would this boat's name happen to be the SS Tristana? Aww, Charm. No, you wouldn't let me say fuck off. That's not fun. Aww. I'm so glad it was like a little funny option. That's funny. That's really funny. Oh, that's really funny. What are you talking about? No, you're right, little captain. It says, that name is already taken, isn't it? Do you remember sailing on the SS Tristana, little captain? No. I did think we had an understanding, little captain. It, impossibly vast, impossibly cold, says, I'll ask you again, did you or did you not sail on the SS Tristana? Alright, you caught me. Of course. Ah, the Tristana, it sighs. What an inauspicious name for a ship. They might as well have called her the Sadness. Wow. Wow. But she was a beautiful ship, wasn't she? Were you proud to captain her? Of course you were, it replies. Are you proud of yourself now? Sure. Then you truly are a shameless beast. Aww. Love you too. Big giant eye. I have a gift for you, it says. A tool. Perhaps it will civilize you. Look under your seat. Ah, yep. Well. Oh! Wonderful. There's a box underneath the bench. It's lacquered oaken finish corrupted by the sea air. You flip the latch and open it. Is it a flare gun? Alright, sweet. It's a very model, designed to look like a snub-nosed pistol. Yeah, it's very good. But made of bright orange plastic with a single flare. Save yourself if you can, the eye says. You lot are small and weak and helpless. So often you forget how much you need each other to survive. But careful now, little captain. Remember, you only have one shot. You could save yourself, the eye muses. You could use it to kill a fish to eat. Have you seen what a flare can do to living flesh? They burn very hot. But those are concerns for tomorrow, little captain. I will leave you to rest. Perhaps tomorrow is the day of your rescue. Perhaps tomorrow is the day of your death. With that, the eye closes, and you quickly fall into a deep and dreamless sleep. Crap. Starving. I'm still okay on thirst. I mean, obviously energy is what it is. Okay, I say we eat the rations. That's fine. You eat greedily from your rations. Fantastic. The water, like a witch's oils, burns green and blue and white. Okay, so we should be okay for a while until I eventually run out of food. Sun is to my right, sinking down, so it's setting in the west, so we're going to keep going north. Sun to my left. You're tired and not at your best. Still, you row for hours. You don't quite manage 20 clicks, but at least it's something. Consider the devilish brilliance and beauty of the sea, all whose creatures prey upon each other, carrying on eternal war since the world began. Well, that's quite a profound statement. Sun is to your left, low on the horizon. What are you to do? My supplies. Okay, well-being. It is what it is. Let's keep going. You're tired and not at your best. Maybe another 20 clicks. Fantastic. Sun sets below one horizon. The moon rises above the other. Still no stars, not even after the sky is completely black. You wait and wait and wait, but the eye does not appear. Eventually you succumb to sleep. You awaken with a start. You're wide awake, but it's still dark. Very dark, actually. You turn your head and catch the last sliver of the moon sinking below the horizon. You were certain you could see maybe 5 feet around you, but beyond that is an endless, empty void. It showed you last night that it could steal the stars. Perhaps it has now chosen to steal the sun. An emptiness so vast it swallows itself. What are you to do? So one water. If I do nothing, does he regain, like, energy? Maybe. Prop your chin on your arms and stare out across the endless sea. Well, no. Shame. That would have been handy. We're gonna row. Shit. We don't know where the sun is. I'm gonna say forward, because I can't imagine he's moved the boat at all. You set your teeth and row a while. It's definitely getting colder. Buzzing behind the eyes. What are you to do? We're gonna keep on going, buddy. Buzzing behind the eyes. You set your teeth and row a while. An albatross flies overhead. What are you to do? Ooh, scream? If I had a fish, maybe. Do I shoot it? With the flare gun? What if I miss? Oh, I guess I could wait and see what happens. Maybe he'll come. I guess I could scream. You scream. You scream as loud as you can. The albatross flies on. Damn, maybe that wasn't the right... I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Open water in all directions. Well-being. How are we holding up? Say to quench fatigue. So we're still okay. We're gonna keep on rowing forward, baby. Hostile sea. What are you to do? Row forward. Cold that crushes like a hydraulic press. So we're definitely getting colder. That's maybe not the right call. Just gonna keep going, baby. Oh, the ship! Far to the left of you, a ship appears, glowing brightly in the dark. It is alien yet familiar, like a relic from a different time that you somehow been aboard. What are you to do? Shoot the flare! You aim the gun towards the sky and fire. The flare arcs high, burning bright red, reflecting in the water all around you. It hangs suspended in the air for a moment as you wait with bated breath. Then it falls. Its arc is graceful, majestic. It seems to be on track to hit the water, before some unnatural wind picks it up and changes its course. It strikes the hull of the ship. The fire spreads quickly. Ah, shit. Undaunted by the dampness of the wood, soon there's a hole large enough in the side of the ship that it begins taking on water. No! How have I sunk this ship? Does that mean there's nobody on board to do anything about this? What? By the flickering light, you can see figures running frantically. Okay, frantically on the deck as the ship begins to list. The catastrophe is happening far too fast for any kind of organized response to form. Be honest with you. Didn't think I was going to burn down a ship today. The ship sinks beneath the waves and is lost at the sea. You were certain, no survivors. You are a foul, abhorrent creature. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we're going to keep on going forward, baby. The void shuddering. What are you to do? Keep rowing. Smell of rotting fish. Keep rowing. Suddenly you realize your feet are cold and your socks are damp. Colder and damper than the rest of you. The leak! No! Look down to find water slowly rising in your boat. It must have sprung a leak. What are you to do? Oh, I don't have anything to Well, I might have something to scoop it with. Yeah, let's just try. Ah, beneath the bench in front of you, you spot an old rusted bucket. It seems some weather, but is structurally sound. You snatch it and begin bailing the freezing water as fast as you can. Dip after dip, heave after heave. You work to remove the water until your arms and chest burn with the exertion and your fingers are numb from the cold. Eventually, though, you clear the water entirely. Hey, that was good. Find no holes, no leaks. Your socks and hands are dry. It's almost like it never happened. Darkness forever. Keep going. Lonely. Keep going. A space so vast it crushes you. Keep going. Ah, fuck. Hi. The eye appears below you, as sudden and unexpected as it had the previous 2 nights. How goes the rowing, little captain? It intones. You know it does not expect an answer. Do you know yet what I am? It asks. I guess the only other choice is, you are God. Ah, God. It sounds pensive. I do suppose that is the name your kind gives to that which you find inexplicable, so perhaps it is indeed appropriate. Another long silence. You wait, exhausted. Tell me, little captain, this is eventually, how has the night been treating you? I'll still be nice. Right now, it's miserable. Yes, I expect so. It sighs. You know what you have to do to make it stop. I can't. You can. It asserts. You must. You have always known what it will take for you to die. It's too hard. Life is full of hardship. The eye chides you. One cannot escape it, only deter. Defer. You cannot change the choices you made. You can only face up to the consequences now. You already know what happened. I do know. It's true. The eye replies, but the point is not in my knowledge. It's in your admission. This is sick. You reap what you sow, little captain. It says simply. I'm not sure where to begin. Begin at the beginning, it replies, and see the story through to the end. All the way from the beginning of my life? It says nothing. You suppose that answers your question. We were docked in a port. Doesn't matter which, only that we've been there a long time. There's a checklist we have to go through before every voyage. Maintenance stuff. I'm always careful and vigilant about completing it. You and I both know that's not true. Honestly, it's boring, and we don't need to check everything every time. The first mate, Crockett, and I are meant to walk through each and every list item together. It takes hours, actually. It's usually almost a full day. And I mean, it's way too detailed. Sure, I get the need for keeping up the electrical and the navigation, but checking to make sure the documentation is there every time? Of all that grain sacks are stacked properly? We got used to cutting corners. This particular time we got a late start. We usually got on at about dawn, but the crew had had a last night on land celebration at a tavern the night before. It had been unusually long since we sailed, and I couldn't help but join in. We didn't have the money to be spending on such luxuries, but for that night, we were free. The result the next morning, though, was that both the first mate and I were exquisitely hungover. The sun was already high when we began, and before we knew it, the sky was red with the evening, and we were barely halfway finished. We were low on patience to begin with, but by that point we were downright pissed with each other, and he was nearly nodding off. At some point he just fucked off and left me to finish alone. Are you sure that's the case? Shut up! This is my story. Eventually I told him to get some rest and let me finish myself. Which was very noble of me. Or it would have been if I myself wasn't about ready to keel over and wanting to mow through the rest of the list as quickly as possible. Our hull, I reasoned, would have received no new damage while docked and did not need to be inspected inch by inch. A training manual, too, wasn't strictly necessary on a vessel manned entirely by experienced sailors. I didn't check the lifeboats either. Are you certain? I did, however, check the lifeboats. For a crew of our size, there should have been 8 seaworthy and fully stocked lifeboats. Not that all of them would be needed. 4 would have been quite enough to hold all of us. But the extras were for the sake of redundancy in case something went wrong. Before the last voyage, we had signed off on 4 seaworthy lifeboats, which was the minimum that could handle our entire crew. Even after only a cursory inspection, I could tell that only one of them was still functional. I knew the risk I was taking, and I checked the box off anyway. Our crew of 16 men and 4 women, no passengers or children, set sail 2 days later. Our journey was to be around 6 weeks there, 1 to unload and 5 back. Our first 3 weeks were uneventful. We worked, we sang, we slept. At the start of the 3rd week, we celebrated a birthday. Couldn't have foreseen how the week would end. The truth, little captain, the truth! The crew was like my family. One does hope you wouldn't do to family what you did to them. We didn't know how soon our fortune would change. I don't know what caused the breach. I truly don't. It could have been that the hull's structural integrity wasn't as strong as I thought. We could have been struck by debris or by some blameless creature. Could have been some crew member, drunk and fucking around below decks, damaged it. In the end, what matters is that it happened in the middle of the night, when only I and the boatswain, acting on watch, were awake. Or were supposed to be. We were both dozing. May I remind you, you agreed to tell the truth. The boatswain was dozing. The next part is hard to make yourself say. I only found out because I got chilly and wandered down to the hold. The water was already ankle deep and pouring in fast. All the food stored in sacks was already ruined and the ship was beginning to list. Oh my god. 15 men and 4 women scattered around the ship, drunken and fast asleep. Water coming in fast, enough that it would fill the hold in 15 minutes, give or take. My mind still half drunken and work-weary itself, moving sluggishly. The floor under my feet tilting more and more steeply to the right. I made a calculation and then a decision. The boatswain was just beginning to stir as I made it back to the deck. I snuck past him as stealthily as I could, feeling like a fugitive on my own ship. The winches to lower the lifeboats into the water were well-oiled and silent. Whichever ABS had been assigned that task did his job well. Oh no. I heard the first stirrings of the crew as I descended the ladder down the side of the ship. Sounds of confusion as I boarded the lifeboat. Shouts of alarm as I lowered it into the water and disconnected it from its falls and davit. Barked orders and hurrying feet as I, fast as I could but nevertheless far too slowly, rowed away. Crew members appeared on deck looking for direction. They thought they could bail the water. They thought they could save themselves if only someone could organize them. One of them, glancing out towards the dark sea, spotted me. He began waving and shouting. Maybe he thought I'd forgotten them. Maybe he thought I had a plan. He called out to me. Called me captain. Desperation in his voice. I saluted him. I watched as the color drained from his face. I watched as a few of them attempted to escape in lifeboats themselves, only for their salvation to sink or shatter or capsize. I watched the ship tilted, its bow rising towards the stars. I watched the sailors dove overboard and tried to swim away, only to be drawn back in by the suction of the sinking behemoth. I watched as every last one of them, 15 men and 4 women, slipped underwater for the final time. And then I rowed away. I rowed away from the wreckage as quickly as I could. I choked back tears and snot and vomit, and I focused on the forward-back motion of my arms. I kept my eyes on my knees, lest I see anything bob to the surface. I rowed until I was too exhausted to continue, and then I fell asleep, curled up on the bottom of the lifeboat. And I suppose that's my tale. The eye closes, then reopens a moment later. See? It croons. Was that so hard? You don't respond. Tell me, little captain. It continues. How do you feel now? Slimy. You and 1,000 other things. It sings. Slimy and soft and spineless, the lot of you. Perhaps, it lulls, you wish to join them, the others like you. Yes. Please let me die. I know that's what you want. The eye assures you. And I could do that for you. I could let you sink into cold, inky blackness and join your crew at the bottom of the sea. But not tonight. Why not? Oh, little captain, it sighs. Because you lied to me. You lied even after I told you I would accept only the truth. I told you I would get the truth in the end, but you decided to lie to me along the way regardless, and that could not go unpunished. So, little captain, you will live one more day. I'll return tomorrow night, and then, and only then, may you die. I'm begging you. Sleep now, little captain. It ignores your pleading. Rest so you can enjoy your final day. The eye closes and you are alone. Nothing to do but wait. The final morning. You've done a hellish thing. The sun is slowly climbing. What are you to do? I got a water still. Relevant or okay, it's all relevant. It don't matter then. Well, I've lost that. Throw your oars, fish. I might as well keep rowing. I mean, I got to lose. The sun on my left. You row. It feels futile. You bear a heavy weight around your neck. Well, I mean, you might as well just keep doing the same thing, right? If its sun is sinking down, it'll be going in the west. Oh no, I did the wrong thing the first time. No. Heat of the day begins giving way to the chill of the night. What are you to do? Row! Bring it on. Hello, little captain. I know you're eager to begin, but I have a question for you first. Do you know what I am? You are judgment. Judgment. It muses. Such a word. A power of the divine and the infernal. A power your kind can only wield by being gifted with it, by having it vested in them. A force of justice and of ostracization. A virtue. A vice. Yes, little captain, yes. I am your judgment. I submit to your will. I have done an evil thing. Perhaps you misunderstand, little captain. Ah, shit. It muses. It is not I who must take the decisive action. It is, and has always been you. Fuck you! Just kidding. I don't understand. How am I to force your hand? It presses. Am I to conjure water into your lungs? Do you expect me to jostle your boat till it capsizes? What has the purpose been of the past days and night? No, little captain. It must be you. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You've known this entire time. What if I'm not strong enough? You need only be strong for a moment. Only long enough to enter the sea. It will do the rest. What will happen to me? You already know what will happen. It's exactly what you wanted. I'm frightened. That's natural. But you made choices out of fear in the past, and they led you here. It's time to be brave. Will it hurt? Yes. But then you will be free. I'm ready. Then choose, little captain. Choose and choose carefully. Damn, I wish I didn't use that flare. I thought this could have been an option. I feel like attacking it is not a good call. I'm gonna die either way. Dive into the sea. You nod, and then you nod again. You release your fear and steel your nerves. You stand, take a deep final breath, and dive in. Shock of the cold fades quickly as the sea welcomes you into its embrace. The eye maintains its gaze. Swim down, down, down. Your strokes aided by some unknowable current. You find yourself drawn towards the pupil, its inky blackness frigid and inviting. Your lungs burn and your eyes water, though the effect is quickly swallowed up by the vast sea. The eye is enormous. It welcomes you in. Contact. Immersion. You are subsumed. You sink into the blackness for the rest of eternity and soon find that you're unable to tell the difference between yourself and the sea. Ending 1 into that silent sea. Woo! Wow! Another good story with multiple endings too. Man, that's amazing. Yet another awesome, interesting story by my buddy Charm. Absolutely check out some of these games. If you like any kind of story-based things like this, honestly, these stories are just so good. We're definitely going to keep covering more. This is so exciting. If you would also like me to perhaps try to get these other endings, I'd be down for that too. I would be. Or at least the one where I shoot the eye with the flare. I'm really curious as to how that goes. What I like though was the fact that, you know, the shooting the flare into that ship. I feel like that's kind of a way of telling you perhaps you caused your own downfall. I don't know. Not entirely sure, but it's just funny that it's a very similar circumstance to what actually happened to you. You know what I mean? Would be weird. Perhaps that what happened to your original ship. Very strange indeed. In which case, this eye might not be exactly who we think he is. This has been great. This has been really great. I've had a great time, and I sure hope you have too. We will see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much to my YouTube members and Patreon members for all the love and support. It's thanks to people like you that we can keep growing.